Congressman, I guess what was your overall reaction to both crowds today?
Well, we've had similar crowds to what we had on Monday. I think there's certain media outlets that are really riling people up with regard to Elon Musk in particular. I think it's a good idea to get a fresh face on government. I think Washington's frequently referred to as a swamp, and it's good to have somebody there who's draining the swamp. Usually every 2 years we add some more new programs, and as the result right now, we're borrowing 26% of our federal budget. It'll be good to have 2 years or 4 years in a row here in which we reduce government a little and admit that some of the programs we've had in the past weren't a good idea.
So are you in support of, I guess, DOGE and all of their investigations right now with the current federal government in terms of where they're spending all this money?
I'm going to give DOGE some of my own ideas on how to cut spending. So yes, it's always a good time to have an agency out there whose goal it is not to add more spending, but to reduce some of the spending that's already happening.
And then in terms of, I guess, people, obviously some in support of you, some against some of the ideology that you were sharing today. Can you speak on that as well?
Well, we had a big turnout. We couldn't answer everybody's question. I'm sure I'll talk to some of the people in the parking lot later on. But that's why we have these hearings, so they realize I'm doing the best I can to identify waste and fraud and talk about the bills that I'm working on. I think you lower the temperature if you have these public meetings. There are a lot of congressmen who don't do these meetings anymore. I enjoy doing them.
And my last question is, I guess, have you had the chance to meet up with Elon Musk in particular and talk to him one-on-one? And I guess what would you say your relationship is like with him?
I have not had any in-depth conversations with Elon Musk. I may have shaken his hand and said hi to him once. I know Steve Miller a little bit more, who's another important person who wasn't confirmed, but I have a high opinion of him. And I'm sure as time goes on, I know Mr. Holman, who deals with the border all the time. He's a real straight shooter. And obviously we have some former congressmen who have cabinet-like positions that I know. And I think they're going to do a good job.
And what would you say to the people that don't trust Musk or DOGE, I guess people that voice their concerns?
Well, I think what it comes down to is they've never seen a government official before say we're spending too much money or maybe some of these programs aren't that great. And like I said, in business, you see new retail outlets, you see new restaurants all the time that open, and 3 years later they close. But nothing in Washington ever closes. So I think it causes these people a little discomfort to find people who are involved in the Trump administration who think some of these agencies ought to be closed.